Hi there, it's Laura at Aquamarine18. Welcome to my channel, and I'm here with my second video of the day. When I woke up this morning, I had planned I'd hoped to have time to film my autumn favorite decks, which I have this morning. But then I checked my mailbox and I got a package. And I've been waiting for this one for quite a while, since it's a Kickstarter deck. And you'll know from the title that this is The Way of the Panda Tarot by Kim from Fables Den. I will link her channel below. And I'm really excited about this deck. And it's come quite quickly since we got the email that the decks had shipped. Kim and I both live in Canada, I believe, so it's come to me quite quickly. And I am so excited. I haven't been really buying many decks in the past couple of months. I have backed some Kickstarters, but I haven't just bought any other decks too much, except for one Oracle deck from Amazon, which is coming. But anyway, I've been waiting very impatiently for this. I have subscribed to Kim's channel at Fables Den for what seems like a very long time. Like, it was maybe one of the earlier channels that I had subscribed to, and I think that Kim is fantastic. And when I knew that she was making a panda deck, I had to back it. I knew I would back it. I love the art style from what I saw in the early pictures. I was so excited. So I'm going to start opening as I continue to talk. Anyway, so when the Kickstarter came up, I was the Kung Fu Panda backer, meaning that I was like on there refreshing the page for it to be listed, and I could get in the early bird price, which I did, and they went very, very quickly because, totally unsurprisingly to me, because it's awesome, this deck turned out to be quite popular, I think, and got a lot of support, which I was very happy about because we got lots of stretch goals, which is always exciting, you know. So I was the Kung Fu Panda, just getting a deck. There were different tiers, you know, with, I forget what was all in there, like bookmarks and panda notebooks and different kinds of things like that. I didn't get any of those. Or like stickers. Like, I don't usually use like a lot of things like this so much. So I just got the deck. But then as the campaign unfolded and Kim was talking about her work on the Book of Pandas, which is the bigger guidebook, not just the little white book, but like a bigger book that's sold separately, I was like, I have to add this. I have to add this to my pledge, because I'm going to just totally kick myself if I don't get it. And, you know, she described there being so many spreads in there and all about kind of the creation of the deck and the personalities of the pandas. And I was just totally sold. Yep. I'm very excited. And this package is heavy. So I'm excited. And there's going to be some extra goodies because we hit some stretch goals, I think, for a pouch to keep the deck in, a drawstring pouch. And also there's going to be some extra cards. The earlier stretch goals were extra cards. So I am excited, and I know that there's been one or two walkthroughs or first impressions of this deck, and I have restrained myself. I have not watched. You just saw me undo the package. Obviously, I've seen images in the Kickstarter updates and things like that, but I like to try to preserve my surprise. It's here. So when you open the package, I got this. The deck is there with some packing paper. So let's see everything. The deck comes in the bubble wrap. I will look at the deck maybe last. Build the suspense, you know. Lots of packing paper, which is recyclable, which is good. This is the pouch that we got as one of the stretch goals, so this was a freebie for me. And it has a panda paw, and it has this green, which really goes with the feel of the deck. And this is a good one. Like, this is a sturdy, like a really sturdy fabric. It's stitched really nicely. It's not one of the like flimsy, you know, ones that fray. Like, this is really good. Like, this stretch goals, like, this is a good one. I'm really happy. That's something that I will actually really use. So that's awesome. And there's some cards in here. Thank you. thank you card, and it says, after a very long time of effort and hard work, you can finally have it in your hands. I'm delighted to have been able to be a part of this beautiful project. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you like the cards, check out my other creations, and this is the artist Celia Libelle illustrations. So there's Celia Libelle's info, so you can pause it if you want to go check that out. The artist of the deck. And there's a postcard here from Fables Den. And the back says, thank you for adopting us. Sincerely, the Pandas. Share your possum deck adoption photos and trigger some deck lust on Instagram using the hashtag Way of the Panda Tarot. Visit fablesden.com for free resources on tarot and more epic adventures. And then there's a little sale code. And I will say, Fables Den, Kim at Fables Den is super generous with the free resources on her website. Do check it out if you are not already familiar with her. I'm sure everyone is. Fantastic. Then there's the more paper in the box. And this is okay, the book is big. Like, I knew the book would be big, but the book is big. And I believe, I'm not sure if this is the book or the deck, but, or maybe it's just the deck. I don't know. I believe that when these are on sale, that the deck and book are going to be blue instead of green, and the green is the Kickstarter special. So this is the Book of the Pandas, the official guide to walking the way of the panda by Kimberly Emson, illustrated by Celia Libelle. And there's the panda. And it's, it's almost like the rose petal deck feel, like this book. It's nice, kind of matte, green on the back. Beautiful. And it's a lot. It's a lot. The book is black and white, which is totally fine by me. The book is, the last numbered page is 277. So there's a lot of pages, though. 276 and 277, there's space here for notes at the end, which is always good. You know, you come up with different ideas as you go. So we can just look at the table of contents. And I really like a big guidebook. I very seldom use guidebooks when they're like just a list of meanings, an entry for each card, especially if it's a deck that's kind of closely Rider-Waite-Smith, or if it's a Marseille deck. I'm not going to really look at them at this point. I understand why they're included, but if I'm going to get a guidebook, I really want one that is very specific to the deck that it goes with, that maybe gets into the artistic decisions and why the particular creator chose to depict certain cards in certain ways and what they were thinking, and maybe a bit about their inspiration and how they came to it. I really like reading books like that, and I felt like this book was definitely going to have that, so I'm excited for this. So the table of contents, we have Once Upon a Panda, the deck origin story for a couple of pages, how to use this book for a few pages, how much of a panda are you? Know thy panda self. And I believe this is a quiz. Yeah, it's a quiz. The panda personality quiz. So I'm going to do that. Entering the Panda Kingdom, an interactive tarot journey. The major arcana. Major pandas with some major wisdom to impart. The minor arcana. The elemental pandas. And then there's the 4 suits, wands, swords, cups, and pentacles, which are the fire pandas, air pandas, water pandas, earth pandas, and epilogue. And this is really cool, and something that I had seen that the book was going to include is that at least, I think it's just for the majors. Yeah, it's just for the majors. Each major has a description of the card. It has a guide, what the message is from the card, guide to conquering the world. And each major also has, and it looks like they're all 3 cards, so they could be different. Each of the majors comes with its own 3-card spread, and they give an illustrated idea of how you could lay those cards out, and then they give you the questions to go with it. And I think that that's really great. I know there's a lot of spreads in here. It says Panda Spreads for pandas of all levels. So there's lots of them, and a lot of them are 3-card, which is great because 3 cards is so manageable, right? Which I really like. And I think that there's so much in this book that, I got the impression from the Kickstarter that this really could be like a good first deck for someone if they were totally new to tarot, right? Which is really cool. And if you want to check them out, Kim has on her Fables Den channel, which again I'll link below, she has some videos about writing this book and her experience of writing this book, and she has quite a lot of video content about the deck and the creation of the deck, which is really great because it can kind of go beyond just what's in the book. And if you like to watch videos, then you can check them out. Okay, the deck. It only took us 11 minutes to get to the deck, which comes packed in bubble wrap and is plastic. What is that called? Cling film? No. What is this? Shrink wrap. Shrink wrap. That's what, not cling film. Shrink wrap. Okay, so it is. Maybe it's just the deck. This one says, The Way of the Panda Tarot, Kimberly M. Son, illustrated by Celia Libelle. I will also say that I really appreciate when decks have both the creator and the artist on the box, easily found. If the creator and the artist are not the same person. I think that that's important. And throughout the campaign, there's the presence very much both, I think, of Kim as a creator and also the artist. And that's something that I appreciate as well. And so the box has on the side Kickstarter edition, which I believe it is the box that this will be blue instead of green if you order it. And it won't say Kickstarter edition if you order it from her site now, post Kickstarter. So that's a cool, I get decks to use, so it's not that important to me if I have the first edition or the second edition or the box is a different color or whatever, but it is like a special thing if you back the Kickstarter to have something a little bit unique. So that's nice. And the bottom just says Fables Den, Level Up, Tarot and Life, Way of the Panda Tarot, copyright 2009. And the box does not have a barcode, which I like. I can't remember who I was watching the other day who said, I really like when the box doesn't have a barcode. Agreed. The book does, but like any print on demand site like Lulu or anything, you absolutely have to have an ISBN, so that's that's standard. So the back of the box reads, The Way of the Panda Tarot Kickstarter Edition Deck and Book Set. A splash of zen, a brush of Tao, a touch of whimsy, and tons of furry adorableness. A deck for serious chillers, carefree wanderers, and panda lovers in dreamy watercolor. Printed in China. So, love it. The deck is safe and sound in a sturdy, sturdy box. It has one of my favorite sturdy box features, the crucial finger spot that makes this so easy, right? Amazing. I'm gonna love this. I'm so excited. And I don't have a lot of animal tarot decks that I like. Or I don't have a lot of animal tarot decks, period. I love animal oracle decks, as folks who have watched my channel know. But I find that sometimes the animal tarot decks, the association of which animal with which card, if it doesn't really work for me, I can find it really distracting. But this is all pandas, so you don't have that problem. And I think that it looked like a really great, creative deck, and I love that. So, if you don't want to buy the Way of the Panda official guide, called the Book of Pandas, you can have the Way of the Panda Tarot mini booklet that comes inside the box. And this one has, again, black and white, 74 pages, which end keep calm and panda on. Perfect. So this one is going to be a lot smaller. There is a little bit about the Once Upon a Panda origin story there. There's a little section on beginning your tarot journey. There is how to use this book. And she notes that she has the panda message with a personal message for each card, light attributes and shadow attributes. And she describes these as positive archetypal forces and reversed meanings. And for reversed, Kimberly writes that you could consider how the light attributes of the card may be lacking, blocked, challenged, or overflowing in some way, causing it to fall into a shadow side. What can you do to turn them around? And I like that. I like to read reversals sometimes, and when I do, that's fairly similar to how I would approach them as well. What do we have here? Oh, we also have, okay, for when you, and I love things like this. She has also a section on unlocking your panda powers and battling your panda shadows. So for unlocking your panda powers, she says, the pandas want to see you happy and well on your way to ultimate pandahood. When you look at the light attributes of each card, think about how you can use the keywords to gain more awareness of your situation, as well as discover helpful perspectives of potential solutions to your problems. Whereas battling your panda shadow says, don't be afraid to get a reverse card, and so on and so on and so on. A shadowy panda card or message either calls on us to exercise the panda powers that we already have, or it presents us with an opportunity to help us level up on the powers that we currently lack and may need in future. Either way, an army of ferocious and cuddly pandas will always stand by you to help you paw your way through the challenges you face in life. I really love the amount of thought that has gone into what I've seen so far of the writing and the video kind of discussions of the panda as an archetype, which is one that actually, in terms of my animal oracle deck collection, panda's not one that's in there very often, so I really like that. And the deck feels like balanced and positive at the same time, which I think is a really hard balance to hit, but I think that from what I've seen that it is really there for sure. And then so each of the cards in the small book has a little panda message, small paragraph, and then light attributes and shadow attributes, so just a small bit for each. And then you get Panda Spreads, and there are 4 spreads, one of which is the Celtic panda, traditional Celtic cross spread with a panda twist. So there's quite a lot in here if you didn't want to get the bigger book that comes separately. You do get some meanings in here and a few spreads and a little bit about the background of the deck and a bit of information for someone completely new to tarot. There's some sections there on kind of storing the deck and things like that. 18 minutes and we're going to look at the cards. Can you tell I'm excited because I want to spend all this time on this deck? So the cards come in they're not gilded, which I think is actually good because the deck has there's a lot of white space, right? To it, so I think not having gilding makes sense. So the white of the card blends in. There's a double-sided artist card at the back. So there's Kimberly, the creator, on one side, and Celia, who did the painting, on the other side, with their information. And there are some extra cards in this deck. So here's the back. I really like it. It's reversible. It is soft and pretty and has beautiful colors, and everything in this deck in the book too, feels really like cohesive. Like there is a vision and a personality, or like a set of personalities that kind of runs through this deck in a really, really clear way. And it's really aesthetically cohesive, and I like that too. Cards. I'm excited. I just have to make a space here so that when I'm flipping, I have somewhere to put the cards. Okay. Cardstock. Matte. And it's not too bendy. This is good cardstock in my opinion. I like matte. It's that little bit, it's the kind of matte that is like a touch sticky, you know, when it's brand new. But with shuffling that will come out, I have no doubt. Okay. Let's have a flip through. There's the Fool. I just want to get a good focus before we go on. Come on, Fool. Okay, there we go. The Fool, and the Fool has this little, I think this is a red panda actually, beside him. And he has a party hat on, which I think is great. The Magician. All of the elements there, colors there. The High Priestess. I will say something that I generally do not like in decks as a rule is animals with human adornments, we'll say. So like non-human animals wearing hats and, you know, doing human-y things. And there's quite a good amount of that in this deck, actually, but somehow in this deck, I like it. There are decks that I have decided not to buy because it's, like, full of animals wearing jewelry, but this, like, I love this, and I have no idea why, but I really, really like this so much. The Empress panda has a baby panda, and they're out in nature, relaxing, having a good panda time. The Emperor with his staff ruling over the area. The Hierophant, I love that he's kind of bookish, isn't he? You know, with all this knowledge that he carries. The Lovers just hanging out under this parasol together. And something that, you know, this is an absolutely gender neutral lovers card, which, you know, can't go wrong with that. Love that. The Chariot with a winged motorcycle. Strength. Oh, and there's a mouse on the panda's head, and the mouse has a sword. The Hermit with his lamp in the dark. The Wheel of Fortune is a what is that called? Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel. Justice. We have one panda pushing the other panda away here. And so strength is 8 and justice is 11 in this deck. The Hanged Man is renamed the Hanged Panda, and the panda is hanging upside down, taking a break, getting a new perspective on things, which I like as a meaning for the Hanged One. Death depicts death and the difficulty of processing that big change, I think. Temperance, finding balance in the beautiful garden. The Devil, shows that captivity that you see in Rider-Waite-Smith Devil cards often. You know, thinking about the devil as as kind of really difficult, right? Difficult things that we feel trapped in, fitting. And see, this is like, this deck I feel like does really hit this place where the book is really encouraging and really supportive and really positive, and the pandas are really supportive and really positive, but it also, like, it doesn't shy away from the fact that there are some really difficult cards in a, you know, a Rider-Waite-Smith, for example, deck, and it depicts those. But it doesn't depict those, as far as I've seen anyway, in a way that's like gory. Like, I really struggle with when you know, decks have this kind of really, especially animal decks, honestly, have this kind of really you know, graphic 10 of swords, bloody, like, animal getting killed. Like I really have a hard time with that, and I don't think this deck goes there, which I also appreciate. The Tower, you have a lightning strike. The Star, so beautiful. Think of wishing upon a star and feeling hopeful. The Moon has a panda in a pajama hat. The Sun has a sunflower panda. Judgment has the trumpet of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, has the trumpet, right? This panda is being very woken up, I think. And finally, the World, we have a panda, of course, with the flute. Okay. So this video is going to end up being like an hour, as I just ooh and ah over these lovely pandas. I will try to be a little bit more, like, efficient with my time here. Ace of Wands. Come on, webcam, you can do it. Ace of Wands. 2. 3. So you can see, like, the very, very clear Rider-Waite-Smith kind of influence here, right? Looking out over with the wands beside. 4 of Wands. Some climbing pandas. Five of Wands, pandas in a tussle. The 6 of Wands has almost, it looks like, what is this called? Fireworks. Celebrating this panda. 7 of Wands, the panda is defending their spot there. The 8. I like the shooting stars there in the 8. The panda with the bandage on his head. 9. And the 10, the panda here is perhaps weighted down so much that he needs a break. The page. Knight of Wands, you get this sense of action, right, of the knight there. Even though pandas are not the most fast-moving animal archetype, you get his or her or their action pose there. The Queen is beautiful. And the King. Ace of Swords, I like the bow tie, that's fun. 2 of Swords, you really get the meaning of choice and, like, making a decision, you know, considering all the options and wondering which direction to go. thinking there. The 3, so this one, again, I was like nervous to see with an animal deck if these would be done in a way that would make it hard for me. And this one, the swords are going into a book on the panda, so I'm thinking of the panda as being kind of pinned there, and the panda's glasses are broken, but it's not like a graphically violent. I mean, some people may still, like, this may still be too much for them, but like for me, this is fine. 4 of Swords, and the panda's just thinking, just pausing, retreating. The 5, there's a spilled cup there in front of the 5 of Swords, and these pandas are having some sort of interaction anyway. That doesn't look entirely friendly. The 6, the panda has sent out a paper boat made of a fold-up newspaper. I love that. I think that is brilliant. The 7 of Swords has a pirate panda. The 8 has a panda who looks like they're feeling rather stuck in the top of this tree. They could get out, but they're looking like they feel pretty stuck. The 9 of Swords, catching the panda. This is an intense one. Going down into this this descent, that looks quite threatening. If you can hear noise, it's because my cat is running around. I don't know what she's doing. And then the 10 of Swords, of course, was the other one that I looked at, and I was like, oh, I hope it's not like a maimed panda. It's so terrible. And what they did was that it's a stuffed panda, and the stuffed panda's stuffing is coming out. Page, ready to learn. Knight. Again, like, pandas are not pandas, you don't picture pandas like running and they're pretty chill creature, but you have the panda wearing the air sign, and you get absolutely like charging into action, even though the panda is not really moving because they're sitting in a tree. Queen looking badass in some sunglasses. Side note, I just ordered some new glasses for the first time in a really, really long time. These are 1 prescription old, like from a prescription like 5 years ago. Yeah, that's a problem. But they're also the only glasses I had that I got the anti-reflection coating on, and so it was my more recent glasses that don't have that anti-reflective stuff on them. Whenever I try to make a YouTube video, like, it doesn't look right. It's like all you can see is screen. So I've been wearing these old glasses and getting headaches, but I have new actual prescription that I actually wear glasses coming. Oh, I'm so excited. None of them are quite as cool as the glasses in this Queen of Swords, though, because those are something else. I don't think I could pull that off. And the King of Swords with his quill and sword. Cups. Very cute. I think this is a baby panda. Who doesn't love a baby panda? 2 happy friends or lovebirds here. 3 panda party. 4 very Rider-Waite-Smith, but there's also there's a little bit of like drunk panda here. Like, those 3 cups look empty, and that panda's like being told, I don't know. This panda kind of looks like he just got last call and is questioning whether it was a good choice. Maybe that's me reading something into this panda, but that's what I get from it. Panda shouldn't have gotten last call. Panda needs a cab. Five of Cups. This Five of Cups feels more optimistic than a lot of Five of Cups do. There's like a support through loss there that I like. Six of Cups. You know, this panda has a cat friend. As a lover of cats, I'm glad that there's a cat present. Seven of Cups, dreaming. Eight of Cups, love that actually. It's a real sense of like freedom and escape there. Nine of Cups, panda looking very pleased with themselves. I drew the Nine of Cups this morning actually as my card. This morning I was doing this Tarot for Growth September prompts on Instagram, which I've been doing but not always posting. And the question today was like, where can you allow yourself, or like where should you give yourself permission to indulge? And I got the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups in the Steampunk Tarot, which I've been working with, is like a bartender like being excited and looking at all these drinks. And I'm like, that's where I should indulge? Really? Tarot? Don't tell me that. You know, if you read it in a literal way. Nine of Cups. And the Ten of Cups has this very happy panda family, maybe a panda parent and panda baby being outside. The Page of Cups, this is one of the first ones I saw actually, and I like that panda rainbow hat there. The Knight, Queen, and the King. This King looks quite satisfied with the contents of that cup. Like, yep, pat in the belly, happy. And so the last is the Pentacles, and I'm just going to separate out some of there's extra cards at the end. Ace of Pentacles. The pandas really have like a personality and like very expressive faces. Two of Pentacles, there's a sense of like balance there, but also a sense of like maybe teamwork, or at least like having to know what someone else is doing. Three of Pentacles, very nice. The Four, it's like holding on to them, right? Like they're all contained. My Pentacles. The Five, some of them have dropped, you know, there's a sense of loss there. Six of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm just getting a notification from my computer that my battery is going to die, so I'm going to really quickly plug in. Bear with me 1 second. That's better. We are now plugged in. So that should fix that problem, make sure I don't lose you. Okay. Yeah. We're at the Six of Pentacles. Very sweet. They're like at a well. Seven of Pentacles. The panda's kind of fishing with the pentacles in a way. 8. Nine. Being very happy. And the Nine of Pentacles. The 10. Very successful panda family there. The Page. Very exploratory in a way. Knight. the queen. A lot of the queens have babies in this one. I kind of wish that, you know, maybe the king could have babies too. I don't know. Spread it out a little bit. They're beautiful. Queen of Pentacles. And the king. Very happy panda there. So that's the Way of the Panda Tarot. It's beautiful. And it came with some extra cards. So as I remember it, there was always going to be, I think, one extra card. Oh, that coffee is cold. No good. I think there was always going to be one extra card, but then there was also, what do I want to call it? Like stretch goals for more extra cards that would just be for the Kickstarter edition as well. So I'm not sure like which one was going to be included like from the beginning and which ones were stretched, but there are 4 extras not including the artist card. So there's one panda that often looks like me, which is a caffeinated panda with 3 coffees working at the computer. I can relate to that panda very much so. There is the stargazing panda with their telescope, staying cozy outside, looking at the stars. There is witchy panda, all kinds of crystals and incense and things there. And there is one called Dream Space, which I don't remember seeing this one on the Kickstarter, but it's beautiful. Like the colors in this deck are amazing. The screen is not going to do them justice, really. And I don't know. I mean, I know that extra cards are a really popular stretch goal. I don't always use extra cards, but I feel like these, like you could use one as a significator if you wanted. Or you could leave them in, and I feel like this is a kind of, you know, whimsical deck that I would, I think, actually use extra cards. A lot of the decks I don't, but I do quite like these ones. So that is the Way of the Panda Tarot, and maybe we can just pick one to read, and I'm just going to go ahead. I don't think I want to shuffle them yet because I want to look through them again on my own, but I want to read from the book. I'll read about this Dream Space card and see what the book has to say about that. I think it might not be in there. Is it in this one? I'm not sure where, because they're extra cards, where they would be put in the order of things. They might not be in the guidebook, actually. I don't think they are. Okay, well, let's just read about the Fool because it's the one that's on the top to see the difference between the guidebook. So here's the Fool, and I believe that that's a red panda beside the Fool. I'm hoping that the book will tell us. Setting off on a journey with the sack on their back, party hat, companion in tow, ready to roll, Fool card. So maybe we can just compare what you get in the 2 different books for the Fool card, so you can get a feel if this is a deck that you're interested in getting, if you would like to have the official book of pandas, or you just want to use this one. So if we go to the Fool in the little book, for the Fool, we get the message, panda message: stay curious. Let your nose guide you towards the next best adventure. You may not know what you're leaving behind. You may not know what you will find, but you know it's going to be good. Destiny's calling on the other side of the world, calling for you to arrive. And then it lists the light attributes: exploration, potential, epic beginnings, and the start of an adventure. And the shadow attributes it lists are recklessness, irresponsibility, and non-commitment. Okay? So keywords that I feel like are very much kind of like keywords that would go with like a Rider-Waite-Smith Fool card. So if you aren't familiar with those meanings, like I think you could get there using this. And I think there's enough there that if this was all you had and you didn't have other tarot resources, you could do a reading for yourself or someone else with this deck and get plenty out of it if you wanted to. But the Book of Pandas has so much, and I haven't even gotten to reading this yet, but I'm really glad that I added this to my order, I can already tell. So the Major Arcana, for the Fool, you get a full 2 pages, plus you get this spread is the Fool's one. So here's what we get for the Fool from the Book of Pandas. It reads, make a wish or 1,000 wishes as you blow out the candles of your cosmic birthday cake. So the card has a birthday hat on it. The pandas are lighting sparklers and blowing party horns all around you. They're excited to send you off to your next big conquest. What will you do? And how far will you go? As far as dreams can reach, the pandas hope. That's a nice little like bit that's in italics at the start. And then it says, the Fool is an adventurous panda that always lives in the moment. His heart is an open field, a fresh canvas waiting for colorful currents to rush in and tumble. The world is an edgeless map, and there is always more to discover, to experience, and to explore. As the day resets itself at dawn, the Fool reaches for his trusty red pouch and strings it on a bamboo stick. He always travels light, for the only thing he needs to enter the space of infinite potential are his passion and his enthusiasm, and maybe some snacks. That's great. His loyal sidekick, Little Red Panda, I was right, never leaves his side and follows him into the exciting new prologues as well as the many wild unknowns. Like the panda, red pandas are also gentle spirits with great patience and sensitivity. These two besties look out for each other as they set out to conquer the world. So then you get, and this the big one doesn't have anything duplicated from this, because this obviously comes with the deck always, and this one is extra. So I like that this one really does not feel so far to me like just an expanded version of the little one. Like this one is very distinct. It does not have those keywords in it, because if you have this, then you presumably also have the other. So that's nice. So for Panda Power Up, I shouldn't fold the book like that. That's not nice. The Fool hands you his Panda Party Hat. This special hat, blessed with panda magic, links and rushes the currents of your soul directly to your feet, conveniently bypassing your fears, your conditioning, and your self-doubts. This way, when your soul hears the calling of an adventure, your feet will automatically spring into action, without restraint and without excuses and without hesitation. The Panda Party Hat also regularly sends celebratory vibes and excess adrenaline into your bloodstream, so that you are always pumped and ready to take the first steps to forever change your life. Wear it frequently and joyously, for it is a hat that can withstand any weather. The more you wear it, the brighter it becomes. And it's already pretty bright in this picture, if you can see the Panda Party Hat there. And so the Fool's Guide to Conquering the World tells us, travel lightly, no baggage allowed. Sparkle with excitement, or if you're incapable of sparkling, you may grin from ear to ear. Find yourself a red panda, but guard your snacks and provisions. Everything is going to be awesome. YOLO, you only live once, so live for once. So it's like a very encouraging kind of, guide to conquering the world is encouraging. And then we have a 3-card spread for the Fool here, which is the Party Hat spread. And there's 3 positions. So the first position says, you're invited by the universe. It's a party as long as you show up. How will you prepare for this new exciting venture? How will you prepare for the new exciting venture? That's card position number 1. Number 2, the pandas are ready to launch you into the new world like a rocket. Where does your heart tell you to go? That's number 2. And number 3, the red panda is your loyal sidekick. Although be warned, he just might eat all your snacks when you're not looking. How will you be supported as you spread your panda wings and fly? There's position 3. So these feel really, I had mentioned I felt like this deck feels really like cohesive, and it has this kind of vision that really runs through it and a really strong kind of authorial voice. I really feel like, the spreads are directly referencing specific details in the card, which are put there with so much intention and thought that I feel like there's going to be so much to dive into this deck and discover, these little details. Like, yeah, the Fool has a hat on, okay, but like that party hat, we can like come up with a lot of fun things from that party hat. So I'm really excited to get to know the Way of the Panda Tarot. I'm so happy that it has finally come. The Kickstarter, and this was a very like well-run Kickstarter, I will say. Like, the communication was excellent, the updates were great. Kimberly was like consultative where appropriate, in terms of kind of selecting things like colors for the drawstring for the pouch and things like that. Backers got a little bit of a say in, but the timelines were like pretty consistent. Very, very well done. I'm so glad to have it. Of course I was impatient, and I'm always impatient when I back something on Kickstarter, and then it's like, oh, but I want it tomorrow, and that it's not coming tomorrow. It's very transparent that it's not ready. But nonetheless, it's like, oh, I'm really excited about this thing. And now it's here, and I'm really excited to work with this deck. And I want to say like a huge congratulations to Kimberly and to Celia for bringing this great deck out into the world and having, such a successful campaign. And I have no doubt that people are going to really enjoy this deck, and I am absolutely going to go ahead and share. I know there was somewhere here. Oh, here it is. Share your possum deck adoption photos on Instagram, Way of the Panda Tarot. I will absolutely do that because I'm going to love trying out some of these spreads and getting to know your deck. So thank you so much for watching my 52-minute unboxing. Can you tell that I'm just really excited about this? Yeah. If you have stuck with me this long, thank you so much, dedicated viewer. I am going to sign off now. This deck is 52 minutes. Oh, now it's 53. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this unboxing of Way of the Panda Tarot. It's a really great deck. I can't wait to get to know it. Check it out. I will link to Kimberly's website as well, so that if you want to order the Way of the Panda Tarot deck or the Book of the Pandas or other Pandatastic gear, you can. Thank you again, and have a great day. Bye.